I'm live.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I am Ritu Jolly, and we are coming to you live from the IIHM Kolkata studio. And we have a very wonderful guest here with us today, and we have the man behind the Steak Factory and Let's Barbecue. We have Rohan Chanda here with us. Welcome to the show, Rohan.
Thank you so much. Hi, guys.
Rohan, as it happens, is an alumni of this college, and he graduated from IIHM Kolkata in the year 2009. And
Right.
has had a really wonderful journey in hospitality. I think having worked overseas in the US, Australia, and then now is of course a budding entrepreneur. Share your journey with us, Rohan.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me over in this live video session. Means a lot to me, and means a lot to speak to all my teachers that have actually groomed us to reach where we are right now. It's almost like a very nostalgic journey, I might add to. And yes, IHM has always been the one for us. Around 2008, my batch was from 2006 to 2009. So before even finishing our graduation degree around 2008, 9, our campus interview started. So I was very lucky and blessed to have the guidance of renowned faculties that we had and had cracked around 10 or 12 jobs in India and had started to work for Oberoi's. And then after that, I had cracked a job in US, Miami, Florida. In the year 2009, I shifted to US, worked there for a few years, and then shifted to Australia, worked there at Cable Beach Resorts, Perth, Western Australia. And then after gathering all that experience, I had come back to Calcutta, my hometown, and set up a restaurant chain which people by now know by the name the Steak Factory. Right now we have 3 to 4, I might say, operating restaurants right now. We're coming up with 2 or 3 in the future very soon. And we also have a catering unit right now by the name Let's Barbecue. Third venture that we are going to we actually planned during the lockdown, looking at the current situation right now, the takeaway module. The takeaway module is really taking off right now. It's really working right now. So I believe we are going to invest a lot of money right now in the takeaway module. So yeah, we're coming up with a takeaway chain of restaurants very soon as the entire lockdown finishes.
Wow, and we look forward to that. And what do you plan to call that chain of restaurants?
Can I just hear the question once more?
I said, what do you plan to name that?
Yeah,
the
basically
new restaurants that you're planning.
Yeah, got it. So basically the takeaway chain would be targeting 2 cuisines, and there'll be 2 brand names. So one would be completely Mughlai cuisine, Indian Mughlai tandoori cuisine, and one would be Asian cuisine. So I have given a little funny but catchy names to both of them. The Asian one would be Hao Mau Khao, and the Indian one would be kebab. Basically, it's going to be a kebab specialty takeaway. I'll have 100 different types of kebabs all over the world, prepared right in our kitchen. So it'll be predominantly kebabs, and obviously we'll give rotis and rice alongside with it. So since it's only kebabs, 100 different types of kebabs, we have even again named it funny. We have named it Kebab Mein Haddi.
Very catchy names, I must say.
Yeah.
Fantastic, lovely. Tell me, how did you decide on becoming an entrepreneur?
I remember having this conversation with Ma'am Bose in the year 2006 when she basically took my personal interview before even I joined IIHM. She asked me the same question. I remember having this conversation. I'm sure Ma'am Bose remembers this too, because I was chatting with her a few months back before this COVID virus hit us. So basically, my dad was somewhat from this background of the hospitality industry. I always wanted to open a restaurant. So when I passed out my boards, I always wanted to open a restaurant. But before that, before you open your own restaurant, you need to know what the trade is, how it works. And hence I joined IIHM to figure out how things work. And I always had it planned, like after 4, 5 years, 6 years of working in this particular field, I would eventually branch out to being an entrepreneur and opening my own outlets in the future.
Okay, fantastic. Tell me, the number of, a lot of our students are, aspire to become entrepreneurs, start their own little bakery or own restaurant. What qualities do you think do they need in order to become entrepreneurs? What are the things that they need to do?
See, being entrepreneur is actually pretty easy if you really want to stick to it. I have heard, seen, experienced a lot of upcoming entrepreneurs working hard for 1 or 2 years, then letting it go. But that's not what it is. Being entrepreneur means you are an entrepreneur for life. You have to battle through the hardships, and then when the time is right, you hit the nail on the head and you make your way through the hard times, and then only you can reap the fruits when the time is good. So obviously when I started off, things were not all really rosy and good for me as well. I had to struggle even after working in different uh, five-star properties around the world. I had to struggle good 2 years of my first during establishing my steak factory. I had to work really hard for the first 2 years to even establish the brand. And even after establishing, the steak factory has been in the market for the last 10 years. Even after 10 years, I still work hard at this every single day. So it's basically, there is no formula that I can give for it. All I can say is that once you know your trade well, obviously point one is, if you know your trade well, for that you have to work hard in the industry, and then once you decide to be an entrepreneur and move into it, you have to work hard every single day so that you can be successful in it.
Right. Given the current scenario, a number of our students often call me and say that, we've started this little bakery from home. We want to go ahead with, rather than working for an organization, we want to maybe start a home delivery or a little takeaway. What advice would you have for these students? Some are, of course, into bakery, some into, something else. What advice would you have for these students?
Right. See, basically, I've had this question before. I have a lot of investors coming to me and telling me, please set me a takeaway joint or a bakery or a catering. All I keep on saying is that, see, there's two options. You have to choose. We all have two options. Either we are going to go ahead and fight this corona out and carry on with our regular life, with our regular work or our business, or we stay back home and just wait for the storm to pass. I don't think the second option is viable, because it is not going to go right away. We have to fight it out. We have to be more safe in our daily day-to-day activities. So for now, for the next 6 months, I would suggest to concentrate more on small investments, takeaway joints. Yes, bakery from home sounds really good. But I honestly, I'm a very positive person. So I honestly think we have fought viruses in the past. We have fought epidemics and pandemics in the past. We will surely battle this out. And say by September, October, we think we will be in a much better situation to open up dining restaurants again and bar-cum restaurants again.
Absolutely. Very, very true. And I completely agree with you on that. Can you explain to me the mindset of an entrepreneur?
Nice question. I can answer this in one word. You have to be a fighter, absolute fighter, because especially for us who are starting off, like I'm talking of startups, people like us who really didn't have immense amount of funding behind us. I can talk for myself. I had to work for 5-6 years in the field and saved every single penny to open my first 18-seater restaurant, which was not even a proper shop. It was an asbestos ceiling shop that I had, and I paid just 15,000 rupees rent for that. And I am humbled to say that right now the rent I pay for the most premium property I have at Sarad Bose is 3,55,000 rupees. So from 15,000 rent to 3,55,000 rupees was absolute topsy-turvy ride. And thankfully, I have still not given up. I'm still fighting it out. Maybe Amphan, maybe COVID, or maybe the economic crisis that the entire India is facing right now, looking at the GDP and everything. You have to be a fighter. You have to keep on fighting it out, and you have to be flexible. So when you're an entrepreneur, you open a chain. It might happen that your staffs might not come. You have to immediately get other staffs to work it out. It might be your menus not working, so you have to be flexible enough to bring in a different menu right away. There might be days when you being an entrepreneur or a owner of a restaurant or a hotel might need to wash dishes on a day. You have to be prepared to do it. You cannot have a false ego to to not to do it. You have to fight it out, and you have to be right at the ground level to understand the situations that your restaurant or your bakery or your takeaway joint is facing. And if you fight out every single adversities like a true fighter, I think you will survive. And a statistical analysis says that if your brand has been in the market for more than 3 years successfully, it's very unlikely that you will be unsuccessful in the future. So fight the first 3 years out, and I think you will survive.
Fantastic. So one can really begin small and then increase. It's not that, you need to begin really big and have a very large investment, as you just said.
Absolutely. There is no, see, there are blessed people who have a lot of investment behind them, but there are people who have started from a mere investment of 7-8 lakhs as well. Both ways it can work. All I'm trying to say is that either ways you can always be an entrepreneur. May it be opening a small kiosk on the street or on a shopping mall with an investment of 2-3 lakhs, or opening a bar cum restaurant or a pub with an investment of 3-4 crores. Either of it is being an entrepreneur, is being making money at the end of the day. After all the hardship that you go through, at the end of the day, whatever you do, you have to fight it out. I know a lot of friends of mine who own pretty big pubs in Calcutta and in India and abroad, who are really fighting it hard, even after they had crores of funding behind them. Still, they're fighting hard to make ends meet. On the other hand, I know people who had very limited resources but doing really well in that umbrella of resources, whatever they had right now or in the past. So, irrespective of whatever resources you have or you had, you will be requiring a lot of hard work which has to go in your brand and to make your own brand. So there is one thing that you make your own brand, which I believe in, and there is one thing that you invest in other brands. That is a different deal altogether.
Right. We see so many restaurants, especially in our city, in Kolkata, we see so many restaurants that open and they close, and they vanish. Whereas you have only grown, your brand has only grown. And in fact, the Steak Factory is a name to reckon with today. What has been the secret of success for you?
I think this answer is very similar to the one that I gave before. There will be adversities like we had when the Notebandi happened. There was an economic crisis. People stopped going to the restaurant for 3-4 months. When this kind of situation arrived every single year, every 2 years, things will happen which will set you back as an entrepreneur or a restaurant owner. What you need to do is that you need to look at the 12 months as a financial calendar. In those 12 months, you have to figure out, okay, this 5-6 months I'm going to make money, and I'm going to, after my own expenses, personal expenses, I'm going to keep money aside for the times when it's going to be tough. Like right now, we're fighting Corona. We already had humongous losses during Amphan. Thankfully, we had the backup funds to restore all the losses that we had, and we are fighting it out, say, for the last 3, 4, 5 months, and say in that 2-3 months we should be back in track. So yeah, every year, every single year, you have to take every year one at a time, and then fight it out, work out your adversities, and keep on working at it.
Right. Lovely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Rohan Chanda here with us today, an entrepreneur, extremely well known for the steak factory that he started and Let's Barbecue. Thank you once again, Rohan, for taking time out. Tell me, what are the attributes that you look for in a young hospitality profession today? You, in fact, interview and you hire so many youngsters. What are the attributes that you look for in them?
Trust me, I just look at one single thing which can be described in one word, that is attitude. I just look at the attitude of that individual who comes in and wants to work for my brand. If I see he has a positive attitude and an intention to learn, there's always a learning curve. I give them 1 month time to understand the type of business in the module that I work in and my work dynamics, the way things need to happen. And I think in a month's time, if the person stands up to his or her role, he or she perfectly fits in my particular restaurant. So I think, yeah, for me, attitude matters the most.
Fantastic, lovely. What message would you have for these aspiring hoteliers today who are here with us today?
Right. The only thing that I would want to say is that right now, first of all, the first thing that needs to be done is to know your trade pretty well. IHM is really, really good at it. It will really guide you on the right path. So please understand your trade pretty well. Even if you have the funds to be an entrepreneur, I will always suggest work 2-3 years in the field. May it be dishwashing or food production or F&B or front office, work in all the fields, at least for a few months each. You understand exactly what goes where. And once you're an entrepreneur, then you can tell people what to do. Unless until you know yourself, you can't really tell people exactly how to get things done. So I would say learn your trade first properly, give it some time. And once you're ready, once you think you're ready, then you go all in.
Lovely. You just said that, it all depends on what you really make of the situation, even in this, the lockdown period. It's all a question of how you handle it. And today you have decided to, rather than restaurants, you're looking at the current scenario, you've decided on the takeaways. Similar was a question posed by one of our students that, what do you think is the scenario? In this current scenario, what do you think is the condition of our industry? Everyone is looking up.
Yeah, I would say our industry is suffering a lot. Like me being a small restaurant chain owner is suffering humongous losses. I think personally, I think the government should step up and save the restaurant industry along with the other industries as well. I'm sure the tourism industry has suffered, which is a part of the hospitality industry itself. Restaurants are obviously suffering a lot. We have, I'm sure there are billions of US dollars of worth economy is what the restaurant industry gives to this nation. So I think it's time. Of course, we are going to fight hard to restore our businesses, our restaurants. We are doing it. We are in the process. We are doing for the last 3 to 4 months. I think it's time that government also comes up with some kind of relief packages or waivers or some kind of help that would actually help us to be back with the same flavor that we had, the same I would say energy that we had 5-6 months back.
Still, a lot of things can utilize this time to enhance their skills. I think that's what the youngsters can do. Utilize this time to enhance their skills, and like you said, start off small as an entrepreneur. Begin small.
Right.
You don't need large investment, right? Like you said, how you began your career. Absolutely. Lovely. What message, Rohan, before we end this show this afternoon, what message would you have for the youngsters who are thinking of pursuing hospitality as a career?
The message that I would always try to say is that you need to first take it slow initially, learn your trade well, go through your trainings pretty well. The trainings that IIHM gives during the second year, you have your industrial trainings. You're sent to hotels for 5-star hotels for 6 months. Take that pretty seriously. I did from mine from Hyatt Regency Calcutta. Take those trainings pretty intensely. Uh, Understand your I would say the art that you're interested in, maybe food production or F&B, whatever it is. Take that seriously, learn as much as possible, and then once you're in the field, go out of your way to learn different things. Like for example, when I was actually into F&B first. I majored in F&B when I finished my graduation, but later on I became a chef, which was much later when I understood my knack of when I had a knack for cooking. I did not realize initially. So I would say keep on working in all the 4 divisions of the hospitality industry: F&B, front office, even housekeeping, food production. And once you know, okay, this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, then give all what you have, and then move on from there and take it to the place that you want to take it always. Like make it big. But before you make it big, start small, understand what's happening, learn, and then make it big.
Absolutely, I think multi-skilling is the way to go now. I think it's no longer where one can just limit oneself to just one department, but one has to really look at so many things. And like you rightly said, you realized your love for cooking, and you went to, you changed your direction from being, in front of the house to maybe moving to the back. Those chefs are no longer back of the house anymore, of course. It's been really nice chatting with you, and I'm sure your guidance will go a long way to help our students to plan and to become young entrepreneurs today. Thank you very much. And before we end the show, any last message for them?
Just be strong, fight it out. That's all I have to say. We are going through a very tough time right now. Stay strong, stay safe, and keep the fire burning.
Great, and on that positive note, a very big thank you from all of us here at IIHM. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. It was lovely chatting with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. It's been a really nice speaking with Rohan Chanda here, and I hope his advice will help you all of you who aspire to become entrepreneurs. Thank you once again, and take care. Have a pleasant evening. And we are signing out of the IIHM Kolkata studio.
Cheers.